everyone, and welcome back to the longest-running podcast named the Funny Business Podcast. It's the Funny Business Podcast. We're two best friends who talk about random stuff and, of course, argue with each other or agree sometimes because that's usually how best friends work. But I am Mike Gambita. Alongside with me is my best friend, who I also call my roommate for life, Mr. Matt Summers. Matt, how are you today? Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year. I'm doing great. I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm feeling 2022. It's a great year to listen to a great podcast, and it's a great year to run a good podcast, which is what I think we do. We got some great things coming up this year. It's a good start to the year, I think. I think everyone's walking on eggshells a little bit after the last couple of years, but it's so far so good, right?
So shitty to say that we have to say the last couple years now, and the worst thing that I do have to bring up is 2022 is also 20202. That's what it sounds like. 2022.
Oh, come on. You can't do that to us. Put that witchcraft out of here.
That's okay. That is okay. So if you are a returning listener, welcome. You may hear a little difference as Matt and I, Santa was nice to us this year for Christmas. We got brand new microphones. So if you hear a little difference or you hear a little, hopefully better quality, you will bring that. A sniff test. Ooh, smells like brand new microphone.
Oh.
Doesn't smell like beer.
That's a good thing. Did your old microphone smell like beer?
The windscreen did. So the windscreen smelled a little bit after maybe a few nights of streaming, but hopefully the pickup pattern for this microphone will not ask me to be very close to the microphone as we move ahead. So, but Matt, I know that people don't know, but you and I saw each other over our let's say our holiday break per se. So we kind of caught up a little bit in between that. I got to meet your girlfriend for the very first time.
Yep.
Jenna and I got to meet your girlfriend for the very first time. She said to me, I think you were at the bathroom. She said to me, it seems like I've met you already because I've listened to the podcast so much, but it's actually good to actually meet you in person now. And I was like, man, I said, I have that reputation now where people know me because they listen to me now and vice versa.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. Before, she met other family and friends, she didn't know anything about him. I was like, so are you nervous to meet Mike? She's like, no, I know Mike. Like, what do you mean you know Mike? What are you talking about? But it was nice to see each other, and it was nice to see Jenna again. It was an awesome night. Oh. I think so. I think we can say. You want to tell people what we did?
Yeah, wonderful dinner that we had. We slugged down some brewskis on top of that too, like two best friends.
Couple
more like two.
couple two.
Couple two. But the thing that we have been saying on the podcast in previous episodes is we were going to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. And boy, did it not disappoint. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I can gladly watch the TikToks and the things that come up on my Facebook feed without being spoiled of any part of Spider-Man. And it's just, for someone who's been a Spider-Man favorite, Spider-Man has always been my favorite superhero. That was the pinnacle bookend to, unfortunately, my childhood, because it finally brought back something from my childhood, and it brought it into this new multiverse, if I have to spoil a little bit. But no, it was great. I don't know your opinion or whatnot on that.
I thought it was great. I mean, I haven't been too into Marvel recently, but I loved the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, so really putting it all together at this point. Well, at this point, if you haven't seen Spider-Man, are you going to see Spider-Man?
I mean, I feel like you have to.
Right. I agree. But yeah, it was a really good movie. I didn't really know what to expect because, like I said, I haven't seen any Tom Holland movies or anything like that, and I never saw the previous Spider-Man movies. But I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. It was I'll say this, it was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. It was a funny movie. Yeah,
I think with Tom Holland's character, and then of course Zendaya, and then they call him Ned. I don't know I forget the actor's name, but definitely the comic relief that is included in that certainly is integrated within this generation of Spider-Man fans. But you have to realize he's a quote kid in parentheses. So I think you're you're gonna understand that he will throw in some humor here and there. But if you haven't seen it yet, please do. Highly recommend. Matt, scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate this movie?
I'll say a 4.25 stars.
Okay, I will go at 4.252.
There you go.
Totally good. So, Matt, you also, I hope you got a little smoocheroonie on New Year's Eve. How was your New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve was interesting. So the day that we saw you guys, April and I got our boosters beforehand. I'm boosted, super boost. And then the next day was tough. I just felt very tired. She got hit really hard. We didn't really know how we were going to feel on New Year's Eve, but we woke up feeling a little better. So we just kind of chilled at home with my brother. Nothing too fancy. We played some ping pong. We just hung out, we watched Ryan Seacrest and his New Year's Eve special. And then we watched Miley Cyrus and Pete Davidson and their New Year's Eve special. I thought that was really good. I mean, Ryan Seacrest was good himself. The music performances, didn't really know who they were. They were very odd. So I thought Miley Cyrus and Pete Davidson did great on NBC. I hope they do that again. That was a lot of fun watching. But it was just a chill New Year's Eve. I think even after the midnight, we didn't really stay up too much. It was just a chill night.
Do you think, Matt, people are tired of hearing our Anchor ad?
Yeah, probably. But let's be honest, if it wasn't for Anchor, we would not be doing a podcast.
You're right, Matt. Once again, we have to thank Anchor for helping us continue to make each episode. Y'all know how it works. Anchor is free. It's easy to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, and distributes your podcast to platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And you all know that you can make money too, even with the first couple episodes that you start with.
So why haven't you started your own podcast yet? Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
So Mike, when do you think we'll stop talking about Anchor?
Oh man, Matt. You know what? To be completely honest, I think we'll be talking about this for a long time. I don't know what happened on New Year's Eve, so we're just going to move on from there.
What do you mean you don't know what happened New Year's Eve? Did someone drink a little too much?
I don't remember it. No, no, I'm just kidding. I remembered some of it.
God, I was like, did you go to the hospital? What happened?
No, I didn't. I did learn how to play a game of actual darts, and I did remember that. So anytime we're at the bar, Matt, I'll show you how to play darts.
Always wanted to know.
Actually, it's a game that I think you'll like. It's baseball.
Okay. I can do that.
It's baseball themed. Steve Reed, shout out to him, and Lori Reed, Jenna's parents. Big hosts with the mosts. With Mark, who is Jenna's sister's boyfriend, so Margot. We were just constantly throwing darts, and we're like, "Do you know how to play?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." But we're like, Steve will. He has games probably that'll play. And I think we played about like 5 rounds. Like,
wow.
Like it was great. And then the last thing I remember before going to bed was I actually went a little earlier. It was past midnight. So, depending on how you party, like, okay, time to go to bed or stay up all night and enjoy yourself. But I was walking upstairs and all of a sudden I hear, Mike, come do a shot with us. And I was like, I'm okay, but what is it? And they go, it's Blue Wave. I'm like, nope, I'm going upstairs. Nope, I'm going upstairs.
They could have said anything else, and maybe it would have convinced you. But Blue Wave, right. You can't do that. Oh my
God, I was like, nope, no way, can't, no wave, Blue Wave.
Oh, that's hysterical. Oh man.
Yeah, I haven't had Blue Wave. What the heck was the last time I've had Blue Wave? College. Well, like I'm trying to think specifically when college.
Senior year, I think we had a bottle at the house. I don't think anyone ever touched it.
Yeah, I think I got over that, and then I moved on to my Twisted Teas, and now I'm just fat with craft beer. So that's just how we roll, man.
Jolly.
I'm a jolly
with your beer. Yeah.
Hey, listen,
not fat. I'm
not fat. But I like drinking beer, so
right.
That is how we roll, my friends. So, Matt, I'm glad you enjoyed your holiday break. We're now working into the workforce with 2022.
Yeah, it was weird going into work today, not going to lie.
Okay.
It's always just weird after like a weird 10 days. It just feels weird to be back in the office. But it was good. I mean, it was a good day at work. Nothing crazy. It's just, waking up at like 7:30, or not 7:30, like 6:30 was like, okay, back at it. Like, here we go.
So I actually had off today.
Oh, that's right.
So I woke up at 6:30 this morning. And I decided to go grocery shopping at 7:30. Oh yeah. Matt looked at me. He's like, "What?"
That's a good though to get yourself back in the swing of things.
Yeah. So, and then I had a few things I had to do. I was sharing with Matt before we got on today. I got some Christmas presents to kind of soup up or upgrade my my office setup. So this whole office was a mess with cords all over the place and rearranging, and that's just my quarter life crisis forever, is just rearranging stuff until I like it, and then a couple years later maybe I'll switch it again, like I always do. So, but Matt, it's 2022.
Mm-hmm.
We've said a lot of things this past year. 52 weeks of saying things.
How many different words do you think you said?
Maybe our audience can figure that out.
Let's say at least, I feel like 100,000.
Okay. I was gonna say a million, but I dropped down that. I was like 100, maybe 100,000.
Oh, I thought you just meant 100.
No,
I was gonna be like, what? Yeah, I think maybe that's a bad guess. I don't know. We'll go with 100,000.
We'll go with that. But Matt, as we did last year, was very popular with our funny business audience. We gave the Banished Words of 2021. Now, Matt, this year, we're doing it again. Just so we can give our fellow listeners a little heads up as far as some things and some words or phrases to avoid in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So this was by Lake Superior State University. They've been doing this for quite some time. Matt, there's 10 words up on the board. You'd be surprised. There is some that relates to COVID, but not a whole lot is COVID related, believe it or not.
Okay. I think that's good because I feel like last year was very COVID heavy. I think they all thought it was going to go away, and surprise, here we are.
So Matt, I'm going to go over some of the 10 banished words of 2022, and we'll just react, and we'll think about if we say it a lot or never or maybe or whatever.
Okay.
So Matt, at number 10 is supply chain.
Okay, now here's the thing.
Okay.
Yes, supply chain was brought up a lot. However, what else are we going to call it? And like when there's a supply chain issue, you have to say there's a supply chain issue. Like, yes, people are tired of hearing about it, but it's a thing. It's something we can't not talk about.
I don't want to be this person. I've never have dealt with, knock on wood, for like the past couple months. I'd say the last 6 months. Something relating to a supply chain issue. Like, I've never had to deal with, oh man, like it's on back order because of this, that, and the other. Like, I've been getting my stuff pretty timely.
I've had a few issues. A few things at work have been tricky to get.
Okay.
But in my personal life, not a lot of issues. I mean, there are some really cool Christmas gift ideas that I had that weren't feasible because they weren't going to be here till like February.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of people have been having a lot of issues with it. Should we banish the word just because it was said a whole lot though? Is that reasonable?
So the description that they have is, word watchers noticed the frequent unfortunate appearance of this phrase toward the end of the year as the coronavirus persisted. It's become automatically included in reporting of consumer goods shortages or perceived shortages. In other words, a buzzword, concluded one analyst. Supply chain issues have become the scapegoat of everything that doesn't happen or arrive on time, and of every shortage, noticed another. The adverse result, overuse and ad nauseum. So it's a buzzword.
I guess. Well, I can allow it.
Matt will allow it.
I'll allow it.
I will allow. Matt, at number 9, you're on mute.
Oh.
I think Matt had to like take a few seconds because we're doing this on Zoom, obviously, for our remote podcast. And he's like, wait, I've been on mute this entire time. But no, the phrase "you're on mute" is at number 9 of the banished words of 2022.
Oh man, this list is tough. Again, what else are you gonna say? Like, that you're on Zoom, you have to say you're on mute. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think the way that this was presented was that it is time that you know when you're on mute and when you're not on mute. And then also to have the Zoom etiquette of to be on mute when you're not talking. We just point that out there for everybody who doesn't put themselves on mute when they're not talking.
It's a fair point. I didn't really think of it that way. That makes more sense than what my head was. Just they can't say you're not on mute. Actually, that would be funny if you let the person speak the whole time, and then afterwards you chime in and say, "Hey, can you repeat that? You're on mute." After like they just talked for like 5 minutes. That's what we should do. I think that should be the new rule.
All right. So the description here is people switched from in-person exchanges to virtual meetings to follow the social distancing protocol of COVID-19, and the unwitting defeating silence happens on both sides of the camera. Overuse and uselessness, then, due to ineptitude. A discerning submitter encapsulated the issue. We're 2 years into remote working and visiting. It's time for everyone to figure out where the mute button is, or as one quipster summarized, hello? Hello?
That's fair enough.
This next one, Matt, number 8, I want gone. I want it banished. And number 8, new normal. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's not a new normal because the normal was already the present. This is new, and you can get rid of normal. It's new for everyone. I don't know your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I understand why people say it. However, I do think it's overused, and you're right. It's not a normal because it's just new. Like normal normal is what happened in the past. This is just new. You're right. You put it perfectly. And people do oversay it all the time. And I think people think it's funny when they say, "Oh, this is the new normal," ha ha. But like at the same time, it's like, I just want to get back to normal. I don't want this to be the new normal. I want this to be a short period of time in my life.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, we're crossing fingers.
Right, and I'm sure there's some things that are going to stay and that will be normal going forward. But there's other things that can change and go back to the way they were before. It's just going to take a little bit longer than we thought.
So the description here is overused catch-all for ways COVID-19 affects humankind, and banishment finalists last year for similar reasons. Those clamoring for the days of old circa 2019 use this to signal unintentionally that they haven't come to terms with what, quote, normal means. A monitor elucidated. Boy, wow, I am like just throwing on some words here that I have no idea what I'm talking about. So the person, after a couple years, is any of this really, quote, new? Another speculated, banished in 2012 for imprudence, defeatism, and apathy stemming from societal missteps. So again, I agree with the submitters. People aren't coming to terms with, Zoom calls being a new way to communicate. Because let's be honest, Matt, and I think I've mentioned this multiple times before, we would never be able to do a podcast if it wasn't for remote recording like we are doing via Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's, stuff like this pops up all the time, pandemic or not.
So I'm hoping that as we are going through, we will be coming out of the jungle in the banished words. At number 7, deep dive.
I feel like I didn't hear this said a lot last year.
Sorry, Siri.
Jesus. Damn.
So the description here is the only time to dive into something is when entering a body of water, not going more in depth into a particular subject or book, admonished a petitioner. Another stipulated that people who float the phrase aren't near pool, lake, ocean, or sea. Thus, rather than dive deeply, they flounder shallowly. And editing whiz wondered, do we need, quote, deep? I mean, does anyone dive into the shallow end? that makes sense.
Yeah, did you hear this phrase said a lot in 2021?
I've been guilty of saying deep dive. But it makes a point. Like, does anyone dive into the shallow end? Like,
No.
You're gonna go into detail no matter if you say deep dive or even something like let's get into, I don't know another way to say it, but
dig into it.
Let's dig into it. Let's slide right in.
There it is.
Watch, that'll be banished next year.
Yep.
Matt, at number 6, another meeting buzzword: circle back.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, even in a non-Zoom meeting, if someone's like, let's circle back to that, I would just want to be like, can you just say, can we go back to? Like, circle back, I don't know. It's just, it feels like it's a little too fancy.
So, Matt, believe it or not, in 2002, this word was banished as well as evasive blanket terminology and smarty pants puffery.
Oh.
So we're not going to say circle back this year.
No, we're not going to do it.
Let's say you start a podcast or you're running your own side hustle and have a bunch of links that you want your audience to know about. As a podcast, Matt and I have all of our social media, all of our podcast links, and other important things. Make it easier for your followers to find your important links, social media, and latest content by having it all in one page with Solo.to. I'll be honest, I have used similar websites like this, but nothing compares to Solo.to. All of your links are clean and easy to navigate. Have an upcoming video? It's really easy to make those changes. Plus, Solo.to has opportunities to upgrade to include more customization, advanced analytics, and so much more. Solo.to is giving us a special opportunity for you to get 10% off if you create an account and upgrade. Be sure to go to solo.to/funnybusiness to create your account today.
Now, Matt, this might get a little heated. At number 5, asking for a friend.
I understand it. However, sometimes it's funny when someone makes it very obvious that they're the one asking and they say asking for a friend. That's very funny. So I don't want to get rid of it completely. But if someone's on Twitter and they're just like asking for a friend, like, and they're talking about something like serious, it's like, okay, do we really need to do this? If someone's making a joke at themselves, I think it should be allowed.
Amen. Amen to that. Misuse and overuse through deceit, because the friend is a ruse. This cutesy phrase, often deployed in social media posts in a coy attempt to deter self-identification, isn't fooling anyone. Well, no kidding. Like, that's
right.
The point.
Right. That's the point of saying asking for a friend.
Paraphrasing one said, once used to avoid embarrassment as in, do you know a good proctologist? I'm asking for a friend. Sometimes an occasional sitcom joke, now an overused tag with absolutely no relationship to its antecedent. I don't think we'd be asking for a proctologist. I think that's a great Google for everybody, and then that's when all the proctologists show up in your ads and your spaces that you see on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the Twitters and Instagrams. But yeah, the main purpose, it's the same as. Luckily, Chugi wasn't on this. I will tell you that Chugi is not on this.
Shit.
But it's meant to be a meme, and I hate to be that person, but that's what it's for. Like, why are you banning something for its purpose?
Right. Like, no one says it seriously. Most people don't say it seriously. They mean it to be a joke.
Mm-hmm. At number 4, Matt. That being said.
How else would you say it?
Well, I'll read it. Nominators cited this phrase as verbal filler, redundant justification, and pompous posturing. For instance, however, or but, even, that said, that does the job as a transition instead of the wordiness. Go ahead and say what you want already, demanded one entrant. That being said, its usefulness is certainly a doubt. As a commentator philosophized. Wow, I've never seen that word. What the hell?
He's just hitting every word now this year.
At the end of the day, if you will, it already has been. That being said, I always take it as a connotation of like, listen here, dipshit. Instead of like something like, we're going to do this. However, Like, that being said, like, okay, well, you don't need to make your grand frickin' entrance to everybody because you already made your entrance communicating in the first place.
You know what? That's a fair point. I feel like when someone does say that's being said, they're being like a little dickish.
Yes.
Yeah, and they always say it with like a little extra tone in their voice. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, you know what? I'm now behind this. I can live with this.
I stand. At number 3, Matt, which was funny because it was mentioned in the descriptor of number 4. At the end of the day.
Yeah. Again, I think this is another one we can get behind. It's just kind of unnecessary to say. You can just say it was. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, at the end of the day is kind of overused.
Matt, this was actually a banished word back in 1999.
Wow.
The day isn't over for this misused, overused, and useless expression. Many times things don't end at the end of the day, or even the ramifications of whatever is happening, observed a sage. Others consider, quote, day an imprecise measure. Today, present times, overused synopsis of conversation or debate, often by politicians or pundits.
Yeah, I can get. I didn't like it at first, but the more I think about it, it is way overused, and I think it's said in every meeting.
Which is funny because you could have inserted at the end of the day, it's overused and it's all that.
Mm-hmm.
See,
yes,
totally redundant and just completely just useless in the sentence.
I agree.
Now, Matt, number 2, I'm guilty. No worries.
I kind of like saying no worries though. I kind of like it.
And let me ask, when do you use no worries?
Usually when someone doesn't have not great news for you, they have to say, "Oh, I'm running behind on this." Oh, no worries, it's okay.
Or thank you, saying
Right.
thank you.
Right.
Do you think social media has caused the phrase "my pleasure" to be too weird?
I think Chick-fil-A has made the term "my pleasure" to be too weird.
Yep.
And then therefore, ergo, the
Ergo.
internet has. What was so funny about
No,
that?
just
Am I not smart enough to say the word ergo?
You've never said ergo in the last 52 weeks that we've done this podcast.
That's correct. You're not wrong. Ergo, yes, the internet has overused my pleasure. My uncle has a great saying about circling back to no worries. My uncle has a great phrase. No hurries, no worries.
Ah.
Yeah, love saying that.
I feel like that's appropriate then.
Right. That's a cool saying to say.
Cool to say. Nominated by writers nationwide for misuse and overuse, this phrase incorrectly substitutes for "you're welcome" when someone says "thank you." A further bungling relates to insensitivity. If I'm not worried, I don't want anyone telling me not to worry, a contributor explicated. If I am upset, I want to discuss being upset. Despite its meaninglessness, the term is recommended to emailers by Google Assistant, which I have seen that happen.
I don't know if that's ever happened to me.
Do you guys use Gmail? Do you guys use Gmail for your
We
workplace?
use Outlook.
Yeah, so that's probably why you don't see it.
But I still get some assistance, like the recommendations.
Okay.
I just don't know if I don't think no worries has ever popped up. I say no worries in email all the time. All the time.
And the only time you can say it is Hakuna Matata.
That's a good point.
Yep. Maybe you could just say at the end, Hakuna Matata.
I think that's a great way to end an email.
I think.
I will not be coming into work tomorrow. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
Matt. Genius.
Oh, man. Now that, at number 1
I'm ready.
of the vanished words of 2022.
Okay.
Wait, what? That's the phrase. Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
That's at number 1 is wait, what?
Give the description. I don't give the description. So, how?
Most frequently found in text or on social media, this ubiquitous imperative question is a failed quote, response to a statement to express astonishment, misunderstanding, or disbelief, explained a wordsmith. I hate it, added another, because the command query is an inexact method to convey the utterer's uncertainty or surprise. I don't want to wait either, continued the second impassioned nominator. Misuse and overuse.
How is this number one? How is this even on the list? Like, is it stupid? Yeah. Should we banish it? No. Sometimes I just want a good way to use. I can't talk. Sometimes I want to use a good. Wait, what? It's like you're surprised. It's like, oh my gosh, are you actually serious? Or like if I send over a text, I don't know if they're joking, so I'm going to reply, wait, what, and then see what they respond to.
Or I think the argument here is, couldn't you just say what?
You could.
Because usually when somebody says wait, it like that usually comes up after a follow-up question too. You know what I'm trying to say? That's another thing that I want to try to stop saying. You know what I'm saying?
Counterpoint, then we'd have to get rid of SpongeBob's "you what?" because he could
you
have said
what?
And that you can't get rid of that line.
Yeah, but for saying wait, what? It's like a fork in the road. Like you have two options. Like you could tell somebody to wait and throw up a follow-up question, or you could just literally say what? Like I don't understand.
Well, I understand if they type wait and then they send a message and then type what. But if they just say in one text, wait, what are you talking about? I think that's okay. I personally don't see a big issue with it.
I think we're going way too deep into this wordsmith, and my brain
Absolutely
already hurts from
Mine
saying
does too.
all these weird descriptions and all these things that I was like,
yep.
What?
Yep. At the end of the day.
I almost said, wait, what?
At the end of the day, I think wait, what? I'm so confused. I don't even know what I was going to say.
Let's bring it up. What were you going to say?
I don't remember.
What are you confused about?
I'm confused about what I was going to say because my head hurts from all these wait, whats. You know, maybe it should be banished if I can't remember what I was going to say.
I think, again, it goes back to the misunderstanding or disbelief. Like,
yeah.
I think I mean, again, SpongeBob with the fish, you what? I mean, I don't think we can banish that because that's just saying what. I mean, yeah, if we're really being nitpicky here, you don't really need to say you what because you're already addressing the you in what. And the wait, what, I think is just something, again, with going back to these words, like that being said, doesn't need to be included in communication. At the end of the day, again, overused, misused, and then wait, what? Like, I think you're just better off just saying what, or wait, insert question here.
I think this whole list is just telling us that we talk stupid.
We do. We
really do. And is that because English is a stupid language? Probably, yeah. It's very stupid, very complicated. And I think that's the thing. Like, there's so many ways that you can say something that we're now nitpicking certain ways that we talk. Which, is that healthy? I don't know. Is the English language healthy? I don't know. This really makes you think about how we talk.
It's a stumper.
That is a
stumper. I'm trying to find the list, like going back to the first archive. Going back to the archive. Okay. They've been doing it since 1979.
Wow.
Let me see here. I do have the archive here. It's very, very weird. So, Matt, thoughts on overall these words?
Again, I think it just proves we all talk stupid. I think these are also things that are hard to keep out of our vocabulary because so many people do say them.
Yep.
I think this year compared to last year, there's a lot more phrases than just words. Like when we gave our examples last week, you know, we thought lit was going to be in there. We thought cap was going to be in there. Those are things that I think we can and will stop saying at times. I feel like this year's list was is more challenging to say, hey, let's all not say these phrases because they are used a lot and it is tough to get rid of them.
I second that, and I believe that. So Matt, I wish I could show you. We'll probably show you after the podcast, but they actually had like a poster. So they actually didn't start off with a list. They kind of gave unconditional banishment, dishonorable mention, special awards, limited banishments, 2-year probation, or Washington phrase alert. So the unconditional banishment word or phrase is I feel.
Okay.
So, which is too often used when, quote, I believe or, quote, I think is meant. Since feel is emotional, the speaker thus protects himself from challenge. Whereas if he were to believe or think, he could be debated. And I'm just looking at all these other things.
Okay.
Dishonorable mention is beautiful or viable alternative. Parameters, irregardless and irrespective.
Interesting.
I'm just dropping. I had too many words today.
Yeah,
on this
my head
podcast,
hurts.
Matthew. Yeah, you should have heard me read those. I actually skipped a few because I was like, how do you say that?
Good.
At number 6, circle back. It's treats, COLLOQUY. Treats colloquy? There we go.
I know the word. I can't think of how to say it off the top of my head. We're just going to pass it over.
Irregardless.
Yep.
That is the top 10 banished words for 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you are staying away from those words if you can, if you must. But, you know, at some point.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Now, I will probably say these words multiple times throughout the year, and I'll probably forget about it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I feel like the one thing that does come back was the word pivot, how upset you were with saying pivot.
Mm-hmm.
I always made it a point to be like, I'd always accentuate on me saying pivot as they did in the show. So,
Great episode.
Like, great. Yeah. The couch.
Mm-hmm.
I brought a couch in.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
It's like that classic dad instinct not to make the dad joke.
Dude, guess what I got for Christmas? Sorry, a little sidebar here. I got a toolbox from Steve Reed.
Oh, that's lit.
I got a drill. I got screwdrivers. I got flatheads.
I'm turned on right now.
I got a box cutter. I got a stud finder, which you damn well for sure I totally put on me and I beeped it.
You found that stud. Absolutely.
All I could think about, because I actually did a few things around the house today and I used some of the stuff. All I could just think was the Home Depot theme song stuck in my head on TikTok.
Yep.
I'm like, here I go. Just here I go.
You should have made a TikTok like getting your first toolbox for Christmas.
I don't know
Cement
why.
your early application for dad status.
Dad status. Yep. Gotta put her on in. So, sidebar. But that is the banished words of 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Matt?
Yeah.
What do you got for us today, my friend?
Well, we're going to do things a little different on my side. We're not really going to be doing sports anymore. I mean, we'll still talk some sports here and there. But we're going to keep a little more flowy in the podcast. And we're just going to have some fun with some end segments for today. So we're going to start off. We just got 2 for you guys. We're going to start off with a dude that's crazy. I am very excited for this segment. I feel like this segment just takes forever to get to. But it's because I have so much in the chamber, and Mike just absolute. What did you just do?
This?
Oh, I thought you just choked on your water. I was
No.
so confused.
I was just making sure that I drank water properly like a human and just didn't spit it out. So
Got it. Makes sense. All right, so I will go first with my first one.
fire
Mike,
away.
Hippos.
Oh, great.
Big creatures, right?
Oh, big creatures, man. Big epic chungus.
So this isn't it what it is. How much do you think a hippo weighs?
A ton.
Pretty close. So the average hippo is 2,000 to 4,000 pounds.
Isn't
So
2,000 pounds a ton?
1,600? I don't know.
Hey, Google.
A ton or two.
How many pounds are in 1 ton? 2,000
Right, you're right.
pounds.
So a ton to 2 pounds. So you would think they'd be pretty slow, correct?
I mean, you have that much weight going in one direction.
So hippos can run up to 30 miles an hour.
Holy shit!
Right? Yeah. Terrifying. It's even more terrifying because did you ever see a hippo like open its mouth? They got some teethers on them.
I mean, what that mouth do? But I mean,
Whoa.
that's
Bonk. Yeah, so hippos can run up to 30 miles an hour.
wow,
Yeah.
dude, that is crazy.
Mhm.
That's why you always say you do not go near a hippo because you got a ton coming at you. And stay far away, my friend. That's all I gotta say.
They're dangerous.
Oh wow. Have you
Mhm.
seen it? I'm trying to remember. I think if we went to Animal Kingdom and we went on a tour, and I think we saw a few hippos back in Disney World when they have hippos.
I don't know. I think I've seen a hippo before. Can't recall off the top of my head.
You've been to Africa?
No. I've not.
No. I had this TikTok in mind yesterday. We're just going off the rails. I kind of like it. I was gonna do a TikTok in the bathroom. We were out to dinner this past week, and I walked into the urinal. I was doing my business. I was like looking around, and there was the brand of the urinal was Toto. I was gonna do Africa and just zoom in on Toto. And then, wait a minute, gets better. Somebody etched in the, I don't want to call it like the porcelain, but like kind of etched in the area, like the silver thing that you flush. Like there's like a little like ring. Somebody put Justin. I'm like, am I in like the TikTok urinal or am I like moving around?
You might be. That's what it's for.
Yeah, missed opportunity, but that's okay. Got my business done. Great dinner.
It happens.
Matt,
Mm-hmm.
we're in 2022, right?
We are.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Did you know February 2nd, or as it's listed, 2/2/2022 is the date with the most identical digits in our lifetime?
Dude, that's crazy. You know what else is crazy?
What else is crazy?
When it's going to be like 2:20 on 2/2/2022. Or when it's going to be like 2:20 in the afternoon. Or when it's going to be, get this, when it's going to be 2:22 on 2/2/2022.
Do you know what's even crazier?
What?
This day, Matt,
Yeah.
is on a Tuesday.
No, there it is. Son of a bitch.
let me just double check to make sure because I saw that and I was like, wait, really? Oh, no.
No,
it's on
not.
a Wednesday, my
Come
dudes.
on.
Oh, come on. It's
Oh, come on to you. You can't
what?
bring that up if it's false.
It's, well, Groundhog Day.
Still, someone on Twitter is going to make that joke and go viral.
Yeah.
And good for them.
You heard it here first, though.
Right, yeah. In the replies, you have to tag us and say that we said it first.
Post the clip.
Yeah,
Clip it.
absolutely. Mike, apple pie. So
America.
when you...
Oh.
Yes, America, right? When you think of American things, you think hot dogs, you think
John Deere.
Baseball, apple pie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, apple pie really isn't American. Yep. So apples originally came from they're native to Asia, and the first recorded recipe for apple pie, I'm sad to report, was actually written in England. So apple pie is not really truly American.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's actually, you know what? That's sad.
that is sad.
Dude, that's
I
sad.
Yes, when I saw this stat, I got sad. Because apple pie it feels like something that should be American.
There was this DVD that we owned. It was about John Deere. It had a wonderful opening song. It's like something as homey as apple pie. I feel like they have to change that. I gotta send you it. It's like John Deere, the American crown, John Deere.
Yeah, so apple pie not American, and my childhood has been ruined.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had some apple pie over the holiday break.
You know, I don't think I did. I don't think anyone that I went to had an apple pie. I could go for a piece of apple pie right now.
I have so much sweets at my house now.
Oh, so many.
Chocolate chip cookies from Mom. I had Reese's Cups. I also had Smidgens. I think I have 2 boxes of Smidgens. More cookies. It's just a lot, man.
It's tough for me because I have sweets at home. My mom's like, eat the sweets. I go to April's house and they have sweets. Her mom's like, eat the sweets. I'm like, I'm trying not to get fat here, people.
Let the beer do that to me.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh man. Now, Matt, this one's a little out there.
Okay, I like it.
Do you remember Osama bin Laden?
Yeah, not a nice guy.
Not a nice guy. Matt, we do some gaming, right?
Yeah.
Do some video gaming, like some Fortnite, Rocket League.
Yeah.
You can find all of it on twitch.tv/funnybusinessen. Just
Great
in case.
plug. Great plug.
Matt, the CIA back then, they confirmed that Osama bin Laden played online video games like Counter-Strike. So if you don't know what Counter-Strike is, it's basically a first-person shooter, an FPS. That basically it's the original battle royale. I guess I could say that. So considering the CIA confirmed that Osama bin Laden played online video games like Counter-Strike, numerous people probably eliminated him over the years without realizing it was him.
Holy shit. Dude, that's crazy, but that's also awesome.
Yeah, right?
That you could like beat Osama bin Laden in a video game? Damn. That's wild.
Yeah, right? Well, it's like, I hate to say it, the stream snipers of the world, like, they'll always want to go for Ninja, Courage, JD, Tim the Tatman, Cypher PK, Tfue,
Nick
Merckx, Jinx, Yomi Victory Royale.
Whoa.
What? In Fortnite, man.
Right.
Out of the gutter. But yeah, I saw this. I was like, wow. What?
Yeah. Wonder what his username was.
Probably something very, I don't want to say descriptive, but probably something that didn't give it away that it was Osama bin Laden.
I would hope not. It wasn't I am bin Laden.
Could you imagine there's like a 16-year-old playing Counter-Strike and then Osama bin Laden's in the lobby and is on the phone with the FBI? I have Osama bin Laden. Oh, I got him. I shot him. He's dead. He's dead.
What if his name was like Bin Laden 69?
TTV bin Laden 69.
TTV Bin Laden 69. Oh man, could you imagine?
Or
what
Laden,
if he's,
or
no,
420 Laden. 420 Laden.
Yeah, 420 Laden. Oh man,
I'm gonna see Osama. God, I'm probably gonna.
There's no way he was on Twitch.
Gamer tag.
There's no way they know that. There's no shot.
Oh, so okay. So here's an article. Was CIA Trove shows his favorite games like Counter-Strike. My bad, everybody. I did not have this prepped. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
I do not see.
I don't think they would release that.
Yeah. Wait, he was a Steam user, so he definitely had, like, he definitely downloaded games like Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Half-Life, I want his username.
I don't think we'll ever find that out.
No, I don't
sadly.
think we will. But
Damn, that's crazy.
yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap up the show with everybody's favorite. It is back. It is time for Take It. Now, Mike, I don't really have one that you have to pick a side to, like it's one or the other.
Okay.
But we did see Spider-Man this past weekend. Spider-Man is a superhero.
Is Batman a superhero?
As a reminder, Batman is not a superhero. As a reminder. But why Spider-Man is a superhero is because he can sling webs and he can crawl up buildings.
Superhuman strength.
Yeah. What's the coolest superpower you could have?
Ooh, I like this.
Mm-hmm. We can touch on a few of them.
Okay.
I'm going to throw one out. I have two that I always go back and forth with.
Go for it.
One of them is invisibility.
Why?
Just because you can go like anywhere you want and people wouldn't even know.
So then here's my caveat to your superpower.
Okay.
If you go invisible, do your clothes go invisible too? Or like the Fantastic Four, the original Fantastic Four movie, do you have to take your clothes off?
No, your clothes go invisible. I think that should come with invisibility.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the cloak from Harry Potter. You put the cloak over you and you're invisible.
Yeah, okay, invisibility's good. I think we gotta go with just the OG superhuman power, and that's flying.
Yeah,
like,
it's a good one.
To be able to fly anywhere, to fly around, like you do have a lot of superheroes that tend to have that originality, like Iron Man, Superman, Hawk. Yeah,
Iron Man's technically not a superhero because it's a suit.
He's an Avenger.
Correct.
Thor. I almost said Falcon. So then, is Falcon a superhero then? He's an Avenger.
Doesn't he have superhuman strength?
Scarlet? No, he's just...
Well, yeah, check him off the list.
Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange. Who else flies around?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, which is coming out soon.
Right.
But yeah, you usually have that like origin of just being able to fly. I mean, I would totally love to just fly. I wouldn't need a car then, if that was the case.
Right. I think flying's cool. I'll give you a counterpoint to flying. What's quicker than flying?
Superhuman speed.
Teleportation.
Oh.
How cool would it be to snap your fingers and you're in a different place? Not that you can time travel. Hot take, I think time traveling is overrated.
Really?
I do. I don't think time traveling would be good because if you would go in the past to try and change something, it's going to change the future and everything's going to be messed up.
Clearly, you haven't watched enough Marvel to understand that.
That is correct. I definitely have not. That you're accurate. But I think if I actually had to choose one, I think I'd go with teleportation, just because. Like, oh, I want to go to Paris. Boom, I'm in Paris. Or I want to go to the beach for the weekend. Boom, I'm at the beach. Like, that'd be cool.
Now, can you take people with you as you teleport, or are you the only person who can teleport? So then here's my other thing.
You have a limit. I think you have a limit.
So you remember the portals that Doctor Strange put up in the movie?
Yep.
Do you want it that way, or do you want, and then snap, then pop? Snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispies.
Maybe a portal.
Portal,
because then you could just throw shit in the portal. Like, if I want to go to the beach,
everybody.
Just toss your toss your cooler in the portal, and then you go in after it.
Get in, bitches. Let's go shopping.
Yeah, I love teleportation.
Okay, I like it. A little bit of underrated. Superhuman strength.
I agree. I think it is underrated because it comes in more handy than I think people give it credit for.
Now, the superhuman strength comes in, the strength also comes with speed too. Now, I'm not saying speed like the Flash, but like, I remember, did you watch Infinity Ward?
I believe I did.
You watched Endgame.
Yes.
And so did you watch the one before that?
I think I did.
Okay. So when they were at battle at Wakanda, where they say Wakanda
Yes.
forever,
Yeah.
you saw them all running towards those nasty, I forget the names of those guys, but then you saw Black Panther and Captain America speeding ahead of the whole entire pack. And like Black Panther has this suit that's meant for like superhuman strength, but then Captain America was just infused with this super soldier serum. And they were just bolting over, and they were the first two to get a crack at some of those monsters that were there in an Infinity War. So
Yeah, I mean, superhuman strength, you can just save anyone at like any time. Or like if someone's like stuck under like a car, you just lift up the car, boom, the person's saved.
Yeah.
Also, never have to worry about like not being able to open a beer
Jars.
without like a bottle opener or jars. Oh, this past weekend I had to help April open jar of marinara sauce. We couldn't get it.
You couldn't get it?
No, so she taught me a trick actually. She just took the jar, flipped it upside down, like banged the bottom of the jar against the counter, and it popped right open. It's like a little trick.
You don't have any like Jenna
Jar openers?
Yeah, do you have jar openers?
We do, but we didn't want to use
know
it.
where
We wanted to be big boys and big girls. But we got it.
You literally made it worse for you guys.
Correct. No, we did.
Man.
It's okay.
Oh boy.
I think some people. I think this one's overrated too. Like being able to like see through things. I think is overrated.
X-ray vision?
Yeah, X-ray vision. I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah, I don't know. That one doesn't really do it for me.
Super intelligence. Superhuman intelligence.
Yeah. It's just a nerd.
I mean, when you have a lot of money like Tony Stark and you're able to make crap that Tony Stark has made, Iron Man, everybody.
Right.
It's intense. They have always showed like, did you know? Tony Stark is constantly learning. So like every time he makes a mistake, he always improves his suit with stuff that were mistakes. But yeah, I think superhuman intelligence is also like an underrated one too.
Yeah, it's one I never really considered. That's a good one. I think that's all I can think of.
What about turning into a big green monster? No.
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not.
That's such a gimmick. I hate to be that person. Like, I love Bruce Banner. I love the Hulk.
I love Bruce.
I love Bruce. I love Mark Ruffalo. But, like, that's just something like, oh, superheroes, okay, let's just give this guy, let's make him really big and green. And like, I think that was kind of just.
Yeah, I think it's more so just it fits a storyline of a guy with anger problems.
Yeah. I mean,
I
wish I
but...
turned green and big and every time I got angry, like.
Right.
But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I watched a lot of Marvel this whole past year.
Yeah. I think we hit the main ones.
Yeah. What about the Force? I know it's a different concept, but
yeah, that'd be awesome. Just to move things. Yeah, it'd be sick.
The training would be a pain though, but
it would be worth it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It'd be so worth it. Like,
absolutely.
Jedi mind control, Jedi mind tricks, lift stuff.
Did you watch the droid you're looking for?
Did you watch the Book of Boba Fett yet?
I have not.
Man.
It's on my list to do this week.
I enjoyed it, and I hope anybody who has yet to watch it will watch it soon, and they will enjoy it as well.
I'm very excited.
But hey, some other things to be excited for. There's another season 2 Octano coming out, and you damn well know Matt and I are going to watch it. We're going to review it on this podcast, and you are all going to like it.
Hell yes.
I think on the 17th. Yeah, whatever.
That sounds all right.
Not to date a podcast, because this is all evergreen content, ladies and germs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, superheroes. Superheroes. I need a hero. Did I tell you that Shrek was playing during Christmas?
Yes. Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it. Oh my god. It was amazing.
It's the best.
And then that's when I found out my phone didn't work.
Yeah.
because I tried taking a picture of the Christmas tree with Shrek opening his outhouse as he walks on with Smash Mouth, but couldn't take the photo for some reason. Still haven't found out if they said it was a problem yet or not. But
good.
The charge for a new phone was taken off my credit card.
Ooh.
So I think by that, I think they agreed. Okay, you got a problem.
Probably. I would assume so.
I really hope so. I hope it's really not something that will happen to the new phone that I got, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, another episode of the Funny Business Podcast has concluded. If you haven't already, make sure you rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcast and Spotify. It's a new feature I came out with, good old Spotify. You can find all of our social media at solo.to/funnybusiness. You could also find the link to our merchandise if you're looking for a little New Year's resolution. Maybe you want to buy some new clothes. Maybe you want to get a new mug. Maybe you want to get a desk mat for all of your gaming or just office home work at home needs. Some fabulous things that will support us if you do decide to purchase. And yeah, Instagram, Funny Business Entertainment. Twitter, Funny Business EN. Facebook, Funny Business Entertainment. Twitch.tv/funnybusinessen. And Mr. Matthew.
Yeah.
What is some advice to just kick off 2022?
My advice, so Christmas season has come and gone. Probably spend a lot of money on your Christmas gifts. It is time to be smart with your money. Not saying not to spend anything. Still treat yourself maybe once in a while. Maybe some smaller things. Maybe not getting fast food for lunch every day, or maybe not going out for lunch every day, packing your lunch. Just save some money. Time to save up a little bit. And I think that's something that we can do throughout the year, not just after the holidays or not after birthdays or anything like that. I think it's just time we start being smarter with our money. You're gonna need it when you get older, and it will add up. The more you save, the younger you are.
Matt, what did you pack for lunch today?
We don't have to talk about that. Yeah, listen, I didn't say I was gonna I didn't say I was gonna pack lunch every day. I said I'm gonna pack lunch more days than I have in the past, which was 0.
Exposed.
No.
Come on, man. A turkey sandwich. It's so easy. Noodle soup.
I was running late this morning. I did not have time to make my lunch.
What were you doing last night?
I was busy last night.
What were you doing?
I don't have to explain to you what I was doing. I was busy last night.
What were you doing?
I don't have room in my fridge to pack stuff and just keep it in there overnight. Like I basically have to make it the morning of work because our fridge at home is just packed. Like there's no room for any extra.
You need Sunday? Let me tell you. Meal prep, man. You know what I've been doing lately?
Uh-huh.
I've been making 2 sandwiches. Like tonight, I'm going to make 2 sandwiches.
Okay.
So that way, okay. I have been very vanilla ever since middle school. I've always had a turkey sandwich, chips, and an apple. And I've been pretty content with it. On weekends, I like to spice it up a little bit, like some different things. But yeah, so tonight I'll make 2 sandwiches because the sandwich for tomorrow is for the first sandwich, and the sandwich for the next day is already made. So that way you have less things to do moving ahead.
Yeah, I just don't have the room in my fridge for that, though.
That,
is what I'm saying.
You had a fridge in college. You use a mini fridge.
Correct. I don't have a mini fridge.
You have it somewhere. I know you.
No, we got rid of it.
Wait, what? Why?
Well, we gave it to my other cousins that were in college.
Where is your beer fridge?
I don't have a beer fridge. We have it. That's the downstairs fridge, and that fridge is also packed. No, there's no. Mike, there's 4 people in my house.
Come on.
You live by yourself. I have 4 people in my house.
How does your brother pack lunch?
He makes it in the morning.
Matthew.
Listen, I would love to be able to pack my lunch the night before. It's just not possible.
Okay.
I'm working on it. I'm gonna start getting up earlier so I can make lunch.
What time do you start at work and what time do you get up for work? And then
I get up around 7 and I have to
Okay.
be in at 8:30.
and your commute time's what, a half hour?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20, 25 minutes. I'm just not a big morning person. It's hard for me to get up and get going right away.
6:30 in
But
the morning.
I'm working
baby.
on it. No, I'm working on it.
Come on, man.
No,
Dude, are you always excited for Mondays?
no,
Dude, I am so much. Like, I love
no,
Mondays.
nope. Can't say the same.
Why not?
I'm just not a Monday person.
You're just getting ready to kick ass and start the week. Mondays are
Yeah.
amazing.
Sure. Depends on the week.
Okay.
Depends on what I got going on.
Just ready to take it by the horns.
Right. Today was a good
Violence.
Monday. I will say that.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
One,
Fine.
1 and 1 for Mondays on here.
What? You have 52 more to go.
Right. Yes,
I think
that's fact. 51.
approximately 51, 52. Are we on a
Right.
leap year this year? We'll talk about that another time.
We might be.
Yeah, whatever. We'll talk about it another time. Well, make sure you follow us. Make sure you pack your lunches the night before.
Mhm.
And until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.